All right. Let's skip on ahead then, I guess. This one is Terri, directed by Azazel Jacobs. I don't think he had a bunch of small stuff. IMDb didn't really reveal much.
Yeah, this
of what
is
he
kind of
was,
his first real thing.
Its tagline is, it's a Sundance favorite, I think. Something has Sundance in the title, on the cover. But this is a movie about Jacob Wysocki, who is just this overweight kid who's living with his slowly going senile uncle Creed, who's Creed from The Office.
Yeah.
And he goes to high school, obviously is an outcast because of his pajama wearing styles. He goes, and the vice principal, who's just kind of an eccentric guy, played by John C. Reilly, takes notice in him and decides he's going to kind of mentor him.
Kind of help him through the high school experience. As he's got a couple of other kids that he helps, who halfway through realizes that they're all kind of special. So he kind of realizes that he's one of the special kids. So that's really fun. When you kind of realize that everyone at school thinks he's kind of mentally retarded. So that's kind of fun, because there's a couple girls that just, in his home economics classes, that but are friends with him. Like, they say, sit next to us and stuff. And you're like, why are they like that? And you're like, oh, it's because they think he's special. So, but anyway, he has an infatuation with a girl. Totally didn't write her name down. The character?
The Heather.
Heather. Played by Olivia Crocini.
So anyway,
Corsia
has a secret crush, and has a moment where he kind of defends her honor, and thus they decide that they're going to become friends. And so there they are, this bunch of outcasts becoming friends. Oh, and there's some crazy eccentric Ritalin kid in there too. But that's what they have. It's about an outcast finding outcast friends. Movie was good. Nothing spectacular about it. As far as these kind of indie movies go, it was pretty bland. There wasn't really any exciting things going on. Usually there's some kind of crazy twist or some really climactic moment, but the climactic moment was just kind of teenage experimentation, and it was really lame experimentation. It was like, woo, let's take Uncle Creed's pills and laugh at each other. It was really lame. So there was a really interesting part where John C. Reilly decides to take them to the funeral of the old secretary, and that was really interesting. I mean, but that was it. Other than that, it was just kind of like, here's a kid in pajamas who goes to school, goes home, takes care of his senile grandpa. Obviously can't do his schoolwork and stuff because he's too busy taking care of grandpa. So the kid's handed a pretty crap lot in life, and you kind of feel sorry for him, but nothing too much else going. I mean, I could care less. Honestly, I was like, someone has to kill themselves. Someone has to. There's just, I mean, and I just kept bouncing between which character was going to do it. Nobody dies. So I was like, well.
Secretary dies.
Okay, secretary, but she doesn't kill herself. So, but there was a couple really good parts where I was just like, where John C. Reilly just makes these awarenesses about his new secretary, and I was just like, that's fantastic. I like that part. So there's a couple spots where where they kind of just talk about things in life that are just kind of weird, which is what a Sundance movie will do. Yeah. But nothing too much more than that. So I gave it a B-. Yeah, I enjoyed it. There were a couple parts that hit me philosophically. And other than that, I was pretty much bored.
All right. I give it a B, so not too much higher. I kind of agree. I think the movie suffers from a lack of conflict. And then these type of movies don't really need a big overarching crazy conflict like, oh, now we found this bag of money. What are we going to do with, let's undo the bomb or something like that. I'm not asking from that from a movie like this. But I feel like we get to know the characters pretty well, and I enjoy the Terri character, and I enjoy the John C. Reilly character, and I think they're the crux of the movie.
And then about halfway through, the movie forgets that they're the crux of the movie. We get into the third act, which leads to this long, extended set piece in this house with these 3 kids. And it kind of gets awkward, and it's not just because of the subject matter, but just because of the pacing and how long we're staying in the situation. It's like, let's get back to it. And then once that set piece is over, the movie kind of just peters out. Yeah. It sort of just ends, and you're left with not a whole lot to think about by the time it's over. It's fine. It's good. It's well acted for a first-time director. It's actually pretty good, and I would be interested to see where he takes his career as far as this goes. I think John C. Reilly, if you like him, he's good here. Yeah. He's always good, and he kind of does the John C. Reilly thing. Yeah. But he's doing it really well. And the main actor, Jacob Wysocki, who plays Terri, also pretty good. Yeah. Playing this sort of hard to sympathize with sort of role. I kind of compared this. I said this is Napoleon Dynamite without the punchline. It's like if you took that situation of being awkward in high school and how is it really? It's not funny. Yeah,
definitely.
And it's all right. It's fine, is how I would describe it. So, yeah, a B.
A B. Although I have to admit, after this, I got to buy me some formal pajamas.
And just wear them everywhere.
I'm just like, I mean, he has pajamas, but then he has formal pajamas for the funeral. I'm like,
oh, yeah, the black
obviously you need some formal pajamas in life.
It's going to catch on.